Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a PTA with Physio, and today I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about upper cross syndrome, which is something that we see pretty often in the clinic here. We're going to talk about what this is, what muscles are involved, and then I'd like to show you one of my favorite exercises for it. So upper cross syndrome is a postural muscle imbalance collection that happens a lot in people today. Upper cross syndrome starts all with the head, so it's going to all start with a forward head posture. And you can imagine with the things that we do in our lives, we sit at the computer, we do a lot of typing, we read books, we look at our smartphones all the time. All of these things help our head come forward, which is not the way that our body is meant to work. If you think about it, our head is about 10 to 12 pounds balanced on top of your spine. Once you balance that 10 to 12 pounds on top of your spine, it balances very easily, which is how our body is meant to work. Once that head starts to come forward a little bit, our muscles have to work really, really hard to stabilize so that we don't tip over. So what we're going to see with upper cross syndrome is our 10 to 12 pound head starts to come forward, and that makes the muscles of our neck have to work really, really hard. They become very tight. So with upper cross syndrome, you're going to see things like knots, chronic knots in your shoulders and your shoulder blades and things like that. So this is going to become very tight here. Our shoulders become rounded forward like this, which makes our pectoral muscles very tight also. Now with the tight neck muscles back here, we start to see weakness in our neck flexor muscles right here. And then with the tight shoulders right here, we start to see weakness in the back of our shoulder right here. So hence the cross that we're seeing here, tight, tight, weak, weak. So one of my favorite exercises for this is going to be called a wall angel. You don't need any equipment for a wall angel, but you do need a nice open wall to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to actually step my feet out about 12 inches from the wall to start. Now this exercise is great because you can get benefit from it whether you complete the full exercise or if you can only get through part of this exercise. So I start with my feet against the wall and my hips are going to come against the wall. Now the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. I'm going to perform a little bit of a pelvic tilt. I'm going to engage my abdominals and I'm going to flatten my low back against the wall. Now this is going to activate my abdominal muscles and help to work on my postural stabilizers. The next thing I'm going to do, if I have upper cross syndrome, you might notice that my shoulders would be really far forward. Now I'm going to work on bringing those shoulders back so that ideally my shoulders are against the wall, my whole spine is against the wall. Now with upper cross, that forward head, we're going to engage our deep cervical muscles and we're going to lengthen the back of our neck by bringing our head back against the wall. So this could feel like a very big stretch and a very difficult part of the exercise. And if that's good for you, that's great. And this is a good start. The next thing that we're going to do once we're able to do this is we're going to bring our elbows up against the wall and then we're going to bring our hands up. This is going to work to stretching the front of our arms out and strengthening in the back of our shoulders. Now, if you can't get into this position, that's just fine. If you can get to here, you can perform the wall angel like this. If you can't get all the way back there, you can perform a wall angel like this also. You're still going to get great benefit out of this exercise, and then working towards the full exercise. So now, once again, my hips are against the wall, my low back is against the wall, my abdominals are engaged, my shoulders, my back muscles are engaged. And it's a very small motion. I'm just going to reach up and then I'm going to reach down, pinching my shoulder blades down and back, and then just reaching up and then reaching down. This seems like it would be a very easy exercise. It's actually very, very difficult. So this is my favorite exercise for upper cross syndrome to help combat the whole host of problems that you may be having. So if you do have upper cross syndrome, you're going to be having things like headaches, knots in your shoulders, knots between your shoulder blades. You could have neck pain, mid-back pain, even low back pain. Upper cross syndrome can contribute to things like rotator cuff injuries as well. So if you think that this might be something that we could help you out with, we would love to. You can look us up at prophysiomt.com.